Welcome to PFT-OT on Yahoo Sports. Peter King, Mike Florio, some of the big issues in the National Football League. And there was a report that came out yesterday from The Athletic. Vincent Bonsignore, who covers the Rams for The Athletic, reporting that there has been discussion among league personnel of the possibility of the Chargers relocating permanently to London. Peter, look, I'm skeptical about that as a viable possibility. What's your first reaction when you think of the Chargers, or really any team, relocating on a permanent basis to London?
I think we're at least 4 years away from it. I think it would be an inconvenient, to say the least, thing right now if the Chargers were to actively consider, and I have no idea whether they are, were to actively consider moving to London instead of Los Angeles. And there's two important factors at play here. The NFL has its collective bargaining agreement, which obviously will expire in 2021, early in 2021. So they're working right now to get a new CBA done. Could that happen a year or two in advance? It could. But usually deals like this don't get done until the last minute. And I've always felt that there's no way a collective bargaining agreement could get done, or there's no way a team could move to London until a collective bargaining agreement got done, because there isn't any provision to ask a player or a team of players to play in a different country on a different continent than to play in the United States in North America. So the NFLPA is going to have something to say about this, number one. And in order to get the momentum to have one of these teams move, it's a gigantic process. At the absolute earliest, I think it'll be 2022, but probably 2023 is more realistic. So it's 4 years away. I think it is a little bit abrupt. It would surprise me if this really had legs, but we'll see what happens. And the other thing is, Mike, the reason that I think that this is really a cloudy situation is that you keep hearing that the Chargers are not, having a great experience selling PSLs and trying to fill their home games at this new stadium in Los Angeles. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and that is such a key aspect of this, because there's a 20-year lease for the Chargers to play at the stadium that Rams owner Stan Kroenke is developing. He's not going to let them out of that lease. Every once in a while we hear, oh, the Chargers go to St. Louis, they go to San Diego, they go here. No, they're not going anywhere. They have a lease that Stan Kroenke needs them to honor, because he needs the revenue from those games to help pay for this $5 billion complex that he's building in Inglewood. So that takes the Chargers out of the mix immediately as far as I'm concerned. Then there's the reality, and this isn't mentioned in the story on theathletic.com's website. The Jaguars have been viewed as the team that kind of has the unofficial dibs on London. That if they want to go, if Shad Khan wants to move the team to London, they're going to find a way to make it work. I still think it is a long way from happening if it ever happens, Peter. The other cynical view on this, getting this idea out there now and not attaching it to the Jaguars so people in Jacksonville don't freak out, attaching it to a team where it's completely unrealistic and or the fan base wouldn't care to have their team attached to it, and the Chargers fan base wouldn't care. The idea that maybe the NFL is trying to use this possibility as just another way to squeeze the union to agree to 17 games. Because if you do 17, you get 16 neutral site games, you have 8 games that get played in London, and nobody has to move. And maybe as they're trying to get the players to understand how it's going to be, it's either going to be 17 games or it's going to be somebody moves. And I don't think any NFL player wants to be on a team that plays in London.
It's so hard to expand from 4, Mike, over in London, because the logistics are so hard. Look, the Green Bay Packers have never played in London. Teams fight playing in London worse than they fight being on Hard Knocks. So you're right. There's a lot of roadblocks ahead.
Check out more PFT-OT on Yahoo Sports throughout the 2019 NFL season.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.